you feeling, Luka? Laker Nation needs you at full strength for Game 4. He looks better than he did on Friday, but then again, I'm not a doctor. LeBron's 38-point masterpiece was wasted as the Lakers couldn't buy a bucket in the final 4+ minutes. They will have some urgency from the jump. The question is, will they be able to keep Ant-Man and company out of the paint? Minnesota got everything they wanted as they took a 2-1 series lead. The goal is to win one of the 2 games in the Twin Cities this weekend. That's still in play for the Lakers as they hope to take back home court advantage. Game 4, it tips off at 12:30 over on ABC. We say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the one and only Hall of Famer, big game James Worthy, our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan. How are we feeling? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Well, there's no question that it's tense, it's nervousness, it's butterflies, it's all the things that make the playoffs great. And if you're a player, if you don't have a little bit of that, I'm not saying like intimidation or afraid, but if you don't have a little bit of butterflies, you're usually not ready to play. So this is a big one. They gave up home court advantage. Now you got to get it back.
Got to get back, like you said, Allie. Just get one of 2 in games 3 and 4. The minor problem is they didn't win game 3, so now you have to win game 4. You don't want to go down 3-1. Only 13 times in NBA history has a team come back from a 3-1 deficit. You and I both know it can happen. Yeah. We were at one of those games where it did happen. LeBron at Golden State way back when, 9 years ago? I mean, it's a long time ago already. But you really do need to win this game if you are the Lakers. You got to have that must-win mindset right now.
Definitely don't want that stress here in the first round. Put on yourself. As you all know, the Lakers are down 2-1 in the best-of-7 series. Here's what it looks like when the Lakers face a 2-1 series deficit the last 25 years, which became, I heard you mention it kind of on the way in. It's not a good outcome in the past. They are just, what, 3-5 since 2000, 7-20 all time with a 2-1 deficit. But look, there are things that could have been improved and will or should be improved from 3 to 4. Obviously, the 16 turnovers that resulted in the 28 Timberwolves points, those 28 points are the most allowed in a Laker playoff game in the last 6 seasons, especially on the road. We know that's not a good recipe for success. What's the mentality, big game, to kind of turn the tide and regain that home court heading back to LA for 5?
First of all, you know you played well enough to win game 3. Timely, unforced turnovers. In moments where you had to capture the game, you're down 1, you're down 2, maybe you're up 3, turnover. They capitalize on it with a 3, turnover. Andre's getting down into the paint, turnover. Julius Randle's popping a 3 or physically getting in for a high percentage shot. So that you erase. That's the mentality that you have. You tell yourself, we played well enough. We know, even with Luka being, subpar, we still played well enough. The coaches will make adjustments. Do you play Jackson Hayes a little bit? Do you need that rim protector? Do you need that size or not? They'll make some adjustments, but the mentality is, yeah, we played well enough to win. Let's take care of the things that we can control. And if they do that, they'll have a good chance.
Nailed it, James. And I thought Chris McGee made a great point on the post-game show the other day. He said, a lot of Laker turnovers were under their own basket. They'd grab a defensive rebound, start to turn around, maybe look up court. Bam, Minnesota would steal it or intercept a pass or do whatever they could. They have the ball right there in their own red zone, so to speak. So the Lakers really need to be careful once they secure the ball in the defensive end. Watch out for the Timberwolves. They're going to try to claw that ball away. And bottom line, Luka's not feeling well the other night. Rui not having a great game. The bench a little quiet, a little quieter anyway than that Minnesota bench yet again. And still tied. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left. But the Lakers scored only 1 point the rest of the way. And Austin Reeves free throws. So the game was there for the taking. James, Allie, they just couldn't close it out.
You still have to go in and put in the work. I want to talk a little bit about Luka, obviously dealing with that stomach bug on Friday. It was the second lowest scoring game in the playoffs in his career, just 17 points on Friday. Shams reporting that he's feeling much better despite treatment and a team meeting yesterday. He spent all Saturday in Minnesota in his bed. And the big thing here is we know that the Lakers are much better when he's at full strength.
Yeah. I hope he got up and moved around a little bit, because sometimes in the bed too long. But yeah, look, Luka feels the moment. He got traded from Dallas. that was an explosive trade. He's here in L.A. He had a lot to do with them, excelling to a place somewhere we hadn't seen in a long time, getting that week off. So you better believe that he understands this moment tonight and how crucial this game is to get it back so he can fulfill whatever legacy he wants to fulfill within that trade. It's a big moment for him tonight, the biggest game for him as a Laker, as well as he's played, as great as he is. Their eyes are on Luka tonight. LeBron, he's been here, but he needs to come through, and I think he will, and no, he can. It's just a big, intense game tonight.
Brez, you know how big game, great point there, how I know that he is feeling at least a little bit better heading into Game 4. This was just him right now on the floor warming up for Game 4 without a hoodie on. I thought the other day it was a swag move by him. Yeah. The hoodie Luka in pregame, all to find out it was because he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, I mean, look, any time you get a healthy Luka, you have a really good chance of winning this game. And I think the things that were missed the other day, you didn't have the spicy Luka, like the guy who was kind of jawing back and forth with the opponent, with the opposing coach, the opposing players, the refs from time to time. Maybe he needs to cut that back a little bit here and there. But I feel like just Luka wasn't ready for that game. And good for him for trying, Allie, no doubt about it. We saw Kobe try to play these games so many times over the years and do it with pretty good success. But, James, I want to go back to something you said. Luka, it's time for him to start cementing his Laker legacy. Think of all the great players acquired by the Lakers, either via trade or free agency over the years. Kareem, Shaq, Pau Gasol, Anthony Davis. They were all able to get that Laker legacy going by winning a championship. Now it's Luka's turn to try to start that. Down 2-1. Hopefully he's healthy and ready to go.
He's only had 5 games scoring less than 20 in his playoff career. How rare is that? He has 29 30-point games in the postseason. Let's get you live to Lakers reporter Mike Trudell, who joins us for Game 4 in Minnesota. First on the floor, as always. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, welcome to Minneapolis. And Allie, to your point, 6 of the last 7 games against Minnesota, he had been 30-plus, of course, before Game 3. And as you guys just discussed, that clearly also on my mind and I think everybody's mind as well. So I'm going to toss to myself to ask that question to JJ Redick about Luka and how he's feeling.
JJ, did you get any sense of how Luka's feeling a couple days ago?
Feeling better.
Gotcha. What are the most important things that you guys did defensively in Game 2 relative to Games 1 and 3 that you feel like you need to see for today's game?
As much as we can zero in on schematics and our coverage board, I thought our mentality was just different in that game than in Games 1 and 3.
You guys got off to pretty good starts in Games 1 and 2. What did you like about your approach to the beginning of those games? And was there a formula that could carry out in Game 4?
Yeah, I think the offense was good, particularly in Game 2. I know Luka had it going. I think giving up 32 points early puts you in a hole. So I think the defensive, sort of establishing the defensive identity from the beginning is really important. I think Game 3 was our best half-court game. It also was our most transition opportunities, our most throw-aheads. It just couldn't capitalize because of some turnovers.
Obviously, with their size, athleticism, and Rudy on the team, paint opportunities are just not going to be there like they would be against other teams. But how do you feel about the intent to either get into the paint and finish or get into the paint and play out of?
Not good. Yeah.
Are there ways that I guess you can, after watching Game 3, ways you guys can counter what they're doing to increase paint opportunities or paint, your paint presence?
Yeah. It was one of our lower paint touch rates of the year in Game 3. And I thought when we did get in the paint, we didn't do a good job of passing to each other, which led to turnovers.
All right, guys, there's J.J. Redick. And look, the starting point there and where he was, Luka is feeling much better from Game 3. So that alone is a significant difference, of course, in what the Lakers can expect to do and just hope to do here in Game 4. They know the importance of trying to take it back to L.A. 2-2 instead of down 3-1, guys.
Luka feeling better makes us feel better. At least me, that is for sure. Thanks so much, Mike Trudell. We'll talk to you later in the show. We're just getting started.